Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Here are 5 breakfasts in Singapore you don't want to miss. We are at the Chinatown complex, which houses the largest hawker center in Singapore with 260 stalls. It also has an affordable beer garden if you're looking for that. Down below, there's supposed to be a wet market, so that'll be like your produce and people will do their shopping. And I'm gonna go check it out and see what we can have. I'm just happy to be here because when it rained yesterday, I was so sad. I want to try one of Singapore's iconic dishes. There are 260 stalls here. It's the largest hawker market. It was also home to the first hawker Michelin star. So Michelin star that was not fine dining, and that was here in 2014 or 2016 for a chicken rice that had chicken with soy. All right, I found this place when I first walked in, and it was a sign that I should eat here. Also, we're going to try this Chee Cheong Fun plus yam cake, $2.50. That's a good deal. Oh, this was actually a really nice thing. As I was ordering this food, I said, "Oh, are you going to eat the Chee Cheong Fun?" And so she said to me, "You can get a sweet sauce with it or a chili sauce." She advised that I get both, but to the side. Probably maybe because the chili sauce might be too spicy for me. But it was just really nice advice for someone because I don't know what I'm doing here. And I appreciate the kindness of strangers. Breakfast time. Another typical Singaporean breakfast I wanted to try was Chee Cheong Fun. I got the original version because I think like Kaya Toast, Singapore is known for its simplicity at breakfast. These are simply steamed rice noodles. And it comes with 2 different kinds of sauces. There's one that's a little bit sweet, that's made with poisoned soy and some sugar. And then also one that is a chili sauce, I think, with garlic and sometimes some fermented flavors. But let's get into these noodles. It's all about the simple noodles, the simple sauces. The noodle is very light. It's almost silky. It has this like smoothness to it. They're so delicate that when you pick it up, you have to be quick with it. Ooh, that sweet sauce is delicious. I'm a little bit scared of the spicy, so I'm gonna try. Not too spicy. Let's say it's like a medium heat. The traditional version is just to have rolled noodles, and there's nothing in them, and that keeps them at a really good price. So these rolled noodles and this yam cake was $2.50, I think, or $2.60. If I got this on its own, I think it might have been $2.20 just for the noodles, but you can get a modern version. And so sometimes in the noodles, you'll get pork, mushrooms, or shrimp. You can choose. But I wanted to try the original way for breakfast. What makes Singapore such an amazing country is the diversity of its people. And we moved into a new neighborhood. We are in the Bugis neighborhood, and we're at a South Indian restaurant. So we're here to have Paratha, which was brought to Singapore by the South Indian Muslims. And basically what it is it's a flatbread that is uniquely crispy on the outside, but also soft on the inside. It's like toast, but better. And it's served with a number of different curries. So this, I believe, is a korma. And then we also have this spicy one. All you do, you have it with a little bit of curry. This has to be one of my favorite breakfasts in the world because it's just so simple, so light. You can have it as a snack. In Singapore, they also have it sometimes with a little bit of sugar on it, but I think these curries, I'm double dipping, are the way to go. That korma is so good. We're eating this at the Victoria restaurant. It is known actually for its biryani and its murtabak, which Alan is eating for breakfast. Because sometimes you're hungry and you want to have murtabak for breakfast. We're at restaurant Mi Burma. Alan and I are having breakfast, and there are two traditional Malay Singaporean breakfasts that I wanted to share. The first one is Nasi Lemak. Now, Nasi Lemak is not a dish. It's similar to Nasi Padang in that it is a style of eating. The food is pre-cooked, and so you start with your rice, and then you also choose what you want to have on your rice. Alan has a very decadent but also healthy breakfast today, so I'll let him explain.
So basically it's same. We have a little bit different in Padang with Nasi Padang. We get another kind of curry or coconut milk like this, and then they will give you freely small pieces of another meat like in Padang we call tambunsu, we call babe, but they will give you as freely in your side of your plate. And then the last one, they will give you red chili also. Okay, let's try. So far good, it's okay. I like that. It's just still tastes the same with Padang in Padang. Yeah, I love it. I like it.
It was really hard to pick what would be the Malay breakfast that I wanted to try. Alan came in for some Nasi Lemak, and when I saw they had Lontong, I knew this was what I had to try. So Lontong is a dish that I know well from West Sumatra and Padang, but you know, food changes from country to country. Lontong is originally from Indonesia, but now you can find it in Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, and each has its own spin on it. In Padang, there are 3 different kinds. The most common has jackfruit. It's in a light yellow coconut sauce, and it has crunchy fried noodles on top with some crackers. It is also the least spicy of the 3. There are spicier ones that even Alan finds too spicy. Looking at this one, I can see that the broth is creamy and also not as thick. The most important part of this whole thing is the lontong, which are compressed, steamed rice cylinders that they cut into cubes. Now, back in the day, traditionally, it was cooked in coconut leaf. A lot of times now, people use plastic. I prefer the coconut leaf ones just because I don't want plastic in my food. But it's always delicious. Here, the broth looks a little bit different. We have cabbage, bean. We also have a red sauce here that is a little bit sweet. I already tried it, and spicy. And also tofu, which is different. But let's try this compressed rice. It's so good. And the broth. That is delicious. It's a very light coconutty broth, full of coconut cream flavor, but still is not too thick. It's definitely different than the one I'm used to in Padang, but it's still just as delicious. This restaurant is fantastic. Both meals, so good. And then also on Fridays from 11 to 4, they have a pay what you can, which I think is just so admirable. Friday is a very important day for Muslims, as men often go to the mosque to pray. And so to have something affordable for people, especially if you have a family, is just really nice. This was recommended by our accommodation, and I have to give big props to Ron for that. I will list it below in the description if you're looking to stay in the best place in this neighborhood. And get all his food tips because this is great.
I'll look at you and say, not about what my craze.
While I'm waiting for the food, I just want to tell you a funny story about the first time I ate kaya toast, which was in Ipoh, Malaysia. Now, it exists both in Malaysia and Singapore, although there are some slight differences. I'll tell you about it. But when we ate it in Ipoh, I did not plan to eat it. It was not on my list. But we were in Chinatown, decided to get like a coffee break. So we went into this old school Chinese place where the servers were senior, and I think it was loud, lots of locals, it was great. And I ordered kaya toast, not knowing what it was. I looked it up on Google and it said kaya was sweet sop. So sweet sop is a dish or a fruit you find in Latin America and also Southeast Asia. So I tried the toast and I thought, oh, this doesn't taste sweet like sweet sop. That's very strange. Sweet sop almost tastes like a fruit cocktail. And so Bahasa Indonesia, the Indonesian language, is very similar to Malaysian. And so I asked Alan if he could ask them in Indonesian, because she didn't really speak English, our server, if it was sweet sop, or in Indonesian, srikaya. And I think either it was a difference in translation for what sweet sop is in Indonesian and Malaysian, or maybe she didn't hear him say Shri, and he said, is this kaya? And she said yes. So I told everyone that this dish was made from sweet sop. I have never gotten so many negative comments on my YouTube channel as when I got kaya toast wrong, and that's because it is so popular and important to Malaysian culture. The same thing here in Singapore. It's also a very common breakfast food. I'm gonna go get it, and I want to share with you what it's really all about. It is kaya, which is a coconut jam made with milk, sugar, eggs, and some pandan leaves. And in Singapore, what they do is they also, because it's toasted hot, put in some cold butter. So you get that balance of cold butter and hot toast. It's usually served with soft-boiled eggs and then also kopi, K-O-P-I, kopi. On the eggs, he said to put on whatever you want. I believe I put on like a sweet soy, known as kecap manis in Indonesian, regular soy, and white pepper. I don't know if it's gonna taste good, but I'm going to try this. Oh, this is good. The butter is so creamy. And then there's not a lot of kaya jam on here. It's just a little bit sweet, warm, toasty, creamy, and I'm gonna put it in here. I don't know if this is how people eat it, but I love to dip my toast in my eggs. There is so much going on here. It's so simple, but it's really good. I wanna get these details right to share with you where kaya toast comes from, because it's really about the history of Singapore, which has, you know, 4 primary cultures where, you know, the Europeans, the Malay, the Indians, and then also the Chinese, who were here when Singapore was formed. This dish, because it's toast, obviously is not from either of those. It was influenced by British colonial traditions of having toast, but Singaporeans put their own spin on it with the kaya toast, the pandan, and then also dipping it in eggs that weren't just regular eggs, but also had the soy, the white pepper, very traditional in Chinese culture. I have to say, this is fantastic. I thought it would be really plain, but it's really good. And in Singapore, if you want something a bit fancier, you can go to a lot of brunch places that will serve like French toast kaya, or put different things in it, or some people like the traditional thin, other people like the big thick. There's also a place that's famous here that actually does whole buns, like soft buns that they cook every morning.